Good morning. I'm not sure you're watching this in the morning, but it's morning for us.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the American Hunting Podcast. As always, thanks for joining. Thanks for giving us a listen, a watch. Sean and Joel this morning. Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth Convention Center.
Yeah, the Texas Trophy Hunters Extravaganza. They have three. They have one in San Antonio. They have one in Houston. And then the alleged granddaddy of them all is this one, and it is in Fort Worth, Dallas. So when I made the decision to come to this trade show, I knew it was going to be August, and I knew it was going to be Texas. I probably should have counted on the 102 degrees.
It's a different level of hot down here. You just step outside and you immediately start sweating, which is because I sweat anyway, so it's a bad look for me.
It's painful,
dude. It's something different. So I won't envy this heat when we get back to Indiana in the fall.
No, not at all. And you might hear some noise as we're talking. What we did is we came in early. It's Sunday. It's the third and last day of the show. So we came in. The show doesn't open for another half hour, 20 minutes. We've got some guests that are going to come in later, but we'll put all this together. But yeah, it's been a pretty good show. You know, I think a lot of people up around the Midwest that are familiar with us want to know, why would you go to Texas, all the way to Texas? And everybody here in Texas has been asking us, are you guys, where from Texas are you from?
Yeah.
And we have to say Indiana, and they're like, why are you all the way down here? And well, the fact is, and I've mentioned this many times, hunting leases and leasing access actually started in Texas. So consequently, it's very popular here. I think I've seen some sort of statistic like 95% of all the property here is private and kind of sewn up. So we had a guy yesterday actually walking around with a backpack, and on the back he had a scribbled note that said hunting lease wanted.
Handwritten note, and he approached our booth. It was so funny because we asked to take a picture, and he thought maybe we were making fun of him or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had to explain that wasn't the case. And where we're at in the Midwest, leasing is more of a new concept within the last couple decades, and he couldn't fathom it. He didn't understand how people hunted without leasing property. And he wasn't the first guy that we talked to, and it really kind of painted a picture that access down here to private land to lease, I don't want to call it a problem, but it's definitely harder. A lot of stuff is locked up, and it's much different than it is where we're at in Indianapolis in the Midwest.
Absolutely, it's a privilege here. If you have a good lease in Texas, you take care of that thing.
Yeah,
you know, you really do. And testament to the people who we've had, I don't know, a couple dozen people stop by the booth and say, so where can I find a hunting lease? You guys can help me find a hunting lease.
Yeah,
and of course we have Lease Spotter, which we can talk about in a second. But yeah, the in the South, Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, those in particular, this is the way. If you're not leasing your access, then you're not hunting.
Right.
And so, you know, we've talked to people on the phone quite a bit, and they're kind of mesmerized by the fact that some people in other parts of the country don't want to pay for it.
Right. I think you come to a show like this, at least we do, and do we want to sell hunting lease insurance policies? Of course, that's how we generate revenue. So That's always going to be a goal. We have the new Guides and Outfitters policy, and there's a lot of guides and outfitters, with booths here that we want to connect with. But you also come to the show looking at what's the pain point of the customer, and access, specifically where we're at here in Texas, has become abundantly clear that this is a pain point for these guys, and we have a service like Lease Spotter, and admittedly, is it as developed out as it probably should be? No, it takes a back burner sometimes for us, but it's becoming more clear that it's something we do need to focus on, because the people who are interacting with us say they need it, so we're going to do everything. When we get back, we're going to do everything we can to kind of boost that part of the site.
It really does need to move to the top, or very near the top of the list of things we need to address, because putting people on a successful, affordable hunting lease has got to be a priority.
Yeah.
And why? Because they want it. Because they're coming to us saying, help me find a lease.
Right.
So that's what it's going to be. Absolutely. Thanks, Tim. Tim from Texas Trophy Hunters.
He'll be on here a little bit later.
Yeah. Great. Complimentary passes to give away. Fantastic. And we'll post these on our social too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll put these up. I got 4 passes for today's show. We'll make sure these get up on social. So those of you that are looking or watching social today, we'll get you hooked up. 4 passes. Thanks to Texas Trophy Hunters.
Awesome.
So but the Lease Spotter. Let's go over Lease Spotter. We had the idea after, and many of you might remember, there was a situation in Michigan in particular where some hunters were basically scammed out of their money.
Yeah.
They were shown They answered a Craigslist ad for a lease. And they showed up, and the guy even showed them around the property, which is just
crazy.
That's ballsy, man.
You got balls.
So shows them around the lease, takes their money, has no rights to that property, doesn't own it, lives near it, and collected their money. And so when they were told they weren't allowed on the property, they were out of their money. So what we thought about was how can we kind of improve on that process. So we created what's called Lease Spotter, and you can find it on our website. And it is a free service that we provide to landowners and hunters. So if landowners want to list their property on Lease Spotter, they upload pictures and a nice description and a price and their parameters. And then hunters can get on and they can literally just peruse the Lease Spotter, and they contact the landowner directly. So again, this is free and it's between private parties. Of course, we encourage them to insure the hunting lease, which is obviously necessary, but where we were able to improve on Craigslist just a bit was that to post or list your property or to lease a property or to contact to get the landowner information, you have to have an account, a free account on our website. So we do have names and telephone numbers, emails, and addresses of everyone. So if there was a problem, we at least have a good start on somebody where we need to go to do that. So
look, it's probably not a perfect model, but.
So go ahead. You're talking about Lease Spotter.
Yeah, I was just saying, Lease Spotter, is it the perfect model for leasing? I don't know, maybe, but when you take Craigslist into account, it's definitely a step in the right direction because we require certain amounts of personal information. So we have an idea of who people are interacting with. And look, it's just about making it secure, making it safe, making it affordable, and as legit as possible. Specifically, to go back to the Midwest thing, there's a little bit of... I don't know what the right word is, but people are a little hesitant to lease property from private individuals. They think they should just have access to it. And, Lease Spotter is a way for people to find and start to build a communication with a landowner to get on a property. So Lease Spotter, like we just said, is probably going to become more of a priority for us because we've just talked to too many people down here that have a need for something like it. So it would be negligent, I guess, on our part just to kind of not develop it further.
There are some services that do this, but you have to pay for all of them.
Right.
You have to pay. We're not a broker, and you don't have to pay for our service. But at the same time, our competitors, you do have to pay for their service.
Yeah.
It's our mission is to make leasing access as affordable as possible, and that's where we put our money where our mouth is. Our lease agreement is free. How to approach landowners, how to access hunting rights, free. It's all on the website. It's all free, and we do all that for you because we want this to be affordable, and so we're going to continue in that vein. Down that road. That's what we're going to do.
Look, so the show's about to start here in a couple minutes. They're coming over the loudspeaker, so it might get a little noisy. We're going to stop this part now. Like Sean said, we're going to have some people on a little bit later in the day from the Texas Trophy Hunters Association and some couple other people we met around here that have some cool products that we like. So hopefully we can get that done and get this out there for you guys to see. And I'm looking forward to today.
It's going to be a great day. And here's why we got to stop, because it's 10 till 10. The show starts in 10 minutes. And we are getting ready to do the national anthem. Then say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then have a prayer. I'm digging Texas.
And then we rock and roll.
I'll be honest with you, we're digging Texas because they're all about it. So it's cool. We'll have some more guests. We'll be
back
right
soon.
Where you're at. Great. So hey, we're back with Tim Hinojosa with the Texas Trophy Hunters Association. They put on the granddaddy of them all, the hunting extravaganza. So Tim, if you can, just tell us a little bit about what the TTHA does, what kind of work you do, and where they can find you.
Texas Trophy Hunters is an organization that's been around since 1975. We are a membership-based company out of San Antonio, Texas, and we've been hosting the Hunter Extravaganza Show for the last 43 years here in Texas. We host one in Houston, Fort Worth, and San Antonio, and they're held in August. The first 3 weekends of August every year, so our hunters and fan base, they know we're coming every year in August, and they're excited for it. They're waiting out the doors when we open up, and we pack these houses. This venue with a lot of fans coming through the doors.
Yeah, it's been great. We really liked it was in August. The trade shows that we do typically, Wisconsin, Iowa, Kentucky, Indiana, Pennsylvania, all February, March, and into April.
Yeah.
So most of our members, they renew their memberships and their insurance in August. And so we were hoping that, and it has been, that this show being in August in Texas, where we have a ton of business down here.
Yeah.
Which is why we came down here from Indiana. Like, hey, let's give a nod to the Lone Star State, man. Go down there and visit and hang out a little bit. And we have great hospitality. But we love that it's in August, and you guys obviously find that works best for you.
We do it in August because it's right before our hunting season. So our hunting season starts right in October, September for dove hunting. But our deer season starts right at the end of September, beginning of October for bow season. So we try to get everybody to get all their hunting needs that they need before hunting season starts, and it's a great fit for them.
Well, one of the things I know has become popular up in the Midwest is to hunt the rut in November.
Yes.
Then a little post-rut in December. Then everybody's still kind of wanting to hunt, and it turns to January and February. We can find a place down here in Texas to hunt. The TTHA site is the perfect place to do that.
Yeah, you can go to tth.com. And go to our marketplace to find leases, new gear, all kinds of cool stuff on our website.
Yeah, it's a really cool service. And you guys, any idea how many members you have?
Right now, we're probably roughly, or I'll say about 30,000 members that we have signed up.
Is that right?
Statewide, and we sign them up here at the show. Our fan, it's always growing. Our membership is always growing. And when you become a member, you get a magazine every 2 months. You get a knife. You get a cat. And you get that culture of Texas trophy hunters, which is very nice out here. It's like a group, hunting group out here. So it's really large. Yeah,
it's awesome. So yeah, if you're hunting anything, it's not just deer, it's hogs, it's ducks, it's
dove.
Well, yeah, dove hunting is huge.
Dove hunting is huge down here. We have exotics down here. You can hunt year round. Yeah. If it's not deer season, we can find you something else to hunt throughout the year.
Yeah, and if you're a hunter in Texas, you need to be a member of the Texas Trophy Hunting Association.
Correct.
For sure.
I actually have it tattooed on my arm.
Oh, that's serious. That's
serious. Some serious stuff right there.
Joel's right behind the camera. You don't get the AHLA logo on your arm? You're full of it. All right. Tim, man, thank you so much for the hospitality.
Thank you.
We've enjoyed it. I'm sure we'll be back. You take care, and we appreciate everything.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, so our last segment here before we head north, so to speak, back to Indiana. I've got Jim Manro with me. Listen, we do a lot of trade shows. Even if we don't go to trade shows for business, I love trade shows. I like walking around. I like seeing all the gadgets. I've seen some really silly things in my life, as you probably have as well.
Absolutely.
And occasionally I find some really useful, cool stuff. And that's why I've got Jim with me, because Jim is is an inventor. Can I call you an inventor?
Inventor. I hold the patents on this product.
Awesome. So, and I've not seen anything like this. And it's fairly simple, but I believe that this is a real safety tool. And not to mention, it's going to make it very useful in the field. And surely you can see it. Hopefully. I'll let Joel get a look at that. These are called, what is it called? The
Sneaky Hunter boot lamps.
Sneaky Hunter boot lamps. And let me hit this for you. They've got red, and they've even got a violet light for tracking blood. Now,
I'd like to say something about these.
Please.
So we have these violet lights custom made. We put extensive research into them. This is not an off-the-shelf violet LED bulb. They're treated with a special phosphorus inside, so it doesn't just shoot out violet light, but it makes the blood pop really good.
Awesome. So here's the thing. And I've got a headlamp. I stopped carrying a flashlight 5-10 years ago, something like that, and I went to the headlamp.
Right.
But I'm 6'4", and I just feel like I'm literally a lighthouse walking through the woods, and it's always bothered me. So I will actually take my headlamp off in the morning, hold it at about waist level, and kind of shield it with the top of my fingers, and just shine it on the ground.
Right.
This product here now not only frees up a hand, I don't have to do that anymore. I feel more comfortable walking through the woods. I can see where and here's another thing, I'm getting a little older. my vision's not as good as it used to be. That is fantastic because I'll be able to see exactly where I'm putting my feet, which is really all I care about.
We lay claim to that. This also takes away depth perception issues. And
awesome.
And people that wear glasses also, it takes the reflection off their glasses and just puts the light down there where you need it.
Sure. People ask us, why do we need your insurance? And we'll tell them one of the examples we use is something that's happened is there are abandoned cisterns and wells all over the country. And I've actually walked across one. I didn't fall in it, but we were hunting one day, and I had my tree stand on my back, and we come across a 6-foot hole in the ground, basically. And so we caught it, but man, this product will give me a much better chance of seeing those kind of trip hazards. Then when I get to an ice-covered or in the rain, a slick tree stand ladder or the steps,
sure.
Now I can go, my hands are free, and I can see where I'm putting my feet. Congratulations,
well,
man.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is really cool. I paid $60 here plus tax at the show. Where can our members find you online?
SneakyHunter.com.
Okay.
Go to our website, look at our video, and find our product there.
Awesome. And the thing
I'll tell you
is,
what, if you order online and mention it at this show, we'll send you a free hat or a T-shirt, or we'll take $5 off.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we appreciate that. There you go. We're paying off already. And these came to market a couple of weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, and they're made in the USA in Nampa, Idaho. And we come out of Idaho, and we're pretty proud of that.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
So Sneaky Hunter boot lamps at sneakyhunter.com, made in Idaho, in America. It's a great safety tool, and frankly, with the violet lights, I think it's going to make you a better hunter too, because now you wait that 45 minutes to that hour, and you got to start tracking in the dark. You can find that last blood or even first blood with these boot lamps. I think you're really in for it. So Jim, thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, you guys can find us at heyhuntinglease.org, sneakyhunter.com. Well, that's the end of Sunday, so I think the Texas Trophy Hunters Extravaganza is a wrap.
Yeah, it is a wrap. I mean, I'm thinking about how the weekend went now as we're sitting here talking about it, and a lot of interesting things came out of the show. I mean, we've always known there's a difference in mindset between Midwestern hunters and Southern hunters in regards to leasing specifically. I mean, this just, to me, sets it in stone. I can't tell you how many conversations I had with people about, they can't believe guys in the Midwest like us, around us have never heard about leasing or don't.
Some people have.
Some people have.
Right.
And they don't understand how someone could be opposed to the idea. And we tell them that they think, the way guys hunt down here is a little bit different just because they've been doing it for a century, basically. So, I think my biggest takeaway from this is leasing is a real, viable, sustainable way of getting access to private land for hunting.
It is. There's no doubt about it. And down here, they don't question it because it's been a way of life. And frankly, I think sometimes we probably harp on it too much at home. Those in the Midwest and East and everywhere outside of the South that are still hung up on it, that's their issue. I say we move on and let's just start serving the landowners and the hunters that believe in it and understand it, because you're never going to satisfy everybody. Obviously, yes. I was going over some of our social media stuff earlier, and I'm just reading comments and kind of half smiling, kind of half pissed, but it's like, what am I doing? Let's just move on and let's just be above it.
Sure. I think one other thing to wrap it up for me is, guys, I want to believe everybody is good-natured and honest and whatever you want to call it. But the number of times I hear, well, I know the landowner too well, a lawsuit and a liability issue would never become a thing. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and maybe I'm a little pessimistic, but, you don't know until you're in that situation. And I just feel like having liability insurance that covers everybody at the price that we sell it at should be a no-brainer. Should be something that you should just do to put everybody else at ease that's involved and just be done with it.
Well, and remember, if we wanted to be like our competition, we could sell it a lot more expensive.
Right.
We can make more money. We're trying to make this more affordable.
Yep.
But regardless, we've talked to we've had landowners come up this weekend who were like, hey, I'm kind of thinking about leasing this out. one of the banquet workers here at the hall at the convention center actually come up and he said, me and my sister are getting ready to inherit 100 acres. We don't know how leasing works. So that's the kind of work that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Is talking to people who don't understand the process, making them understand it, making them feel comfortable with it, so that hunters like us have access to more acres.
Yep.
That's the win for me.
It all comes down to access, and at the end of the day, I feel like we're walking out of here with a better understanding of the market down here and the guys that we need to be speaking to and educating and helping them find access to property.
And talking about just the way they hunt down here, we've got blinds next to us. Hell, everybody that's walked by us has wanted to look at these blinds.
Yeah.
There's not a tree stand manufacturer here.
Nope.
Because there are no trees here. There is a camera mounting system over here, as a guy walks almost through our booth, but there's a camera system, a mounting system over here, and I'm like, well, how does that go on a tree? But it doesn't. It goes on an iron post. Because there really aren't that many trees here to put their cameras on. So that's really cool for me to see how they're passionate about deer hunting, duck hunting. Hog hunting is huge down here. I've not seen a hog in the wild. I look forward to the day when I can lay a couple over, but until that happens, these people are passionate about it. So, yeah, it's been a cool weekend. Real happy that we came, and next year we'll see. We don't go to any trade shows every single year, and I think it's important. We have members in all parts of the country.
Yep.
I think it's important just to go to other regions of the country and say, hey, let's be there for 3 or 4 days and show that group of members our love, and hey, let it go from there. So,
yeah, man, I know it's a long weekend for both of us, honestly, and we flew in Thursday night, didn't get much sleep, woke up Friday, had to set up, and then it's kind of been nonstop since then, but I can't help but go back to work, I guess Tuesday morning and feel a little bit rejuvenated about what we're doing. It gives you a fresh perspective of what we're doing, and I'm looking forward to what we have the rest of the year and into 2020.
Yeah, and we love meeting new people.
Yep.
So, and you bought some soup. We're gonna go home we got an Airbnb. We're gonna go make some gumbo and chill tonight.
Right.
So, Texas, man, hats off. Thanks so much. I'm sure we'll be back.
For sure.
The American Hunting Podcast is brought to you by the American Hunting Lease Association. Everything you need to enjoy a safe, successful, and affordable hunting lease all in one place. Resources like the Secret to Hunting Private Land ebook and the Front Porch Kit, both free to download, to time-tested, attorney-approved, customizable lease agreements, and of course the most affordable hunting lease liability insurance policy you will find. Protect your landowner, yourself, and every member of your hunt club with the AHLA's complete risk management package. The American Hunting Lease Association, better coverage, better service, all at a better price.
The American Hunting Podcast is brought to you by HuntStand.com and the HuntStand app. Build detailed maps of your hunting areas, view and share your hunting area maps with their revolutionary online mapping technology, and use advanced tools that let you examine and understand your hunting area. Then print your high-quality, fully customizable map on several types of materials. Download the HuntStand app or print a map. Visit HuntStand.com. Start mapping now.